responsibility to the original and current caretakers of this land, water, and air. The Kuyas, Hmong, and Senio surround peoples, and all their ancestors and descendants past, present, and future. Today, this meeting place is home to many Indigenous peoples from all over the world, including UCR faculty, students, and staff, and we're grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these homelands. Roll call, please.
President Pro Tempore Hayden. Present. Chair Senator Choi.
Absent.
Chair Senator Hushari-Farr.
Present.
Chair Senator Ebe.
Present.
Chair Senator Bunker.
Present.
Chair Senator Bach.
Present.
Chair Senator Anderson.
Present.
Chair Senator Bell.
Absent.
Chair Senator Tui-Fon.
Present.
Chair Senator Parrios.
Present.
SOP Senator Patel.
Excused.
CDA Senator Chi.
Present.
CDA Senator Lally. CDA Senator Wade.
Present.
CDA Senator Rao.
Present.
PCOE Senator Cuddy.
Excused.
PCOE Senator Pham.
Present.
SPP Senator Evans.
Present.
All right, thank you so much. Moving on to approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve tonight's agenda? Senator Pham.
I move to approve tonight's agenda.
Is there a second? Senator Rao.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Motion passes 14-0. Moving on to our previous meeting minutes. Can I get a motion to open up meeting minutes number 6 and 7? Senator Hushari-Farr.
I move to open up Senate meeting minutes number 6 and 7.
Is there a second? Senator Parrios.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Motion passes 14-0. And then just so we can look over. Does anyone have any questions about meeting minutes number 6? Alright. Moving on to number 7. Does anyone have any questions about meeting minutes number 7? I see no one. Moving on to approval of our past meeting minutes. Is there a motion? Senator Bunker.
I move to approve past meeting minutes 6 and 7.
Is there a second? Senator Ball.
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 14-0. Moving on to public forum. Before we begin public forum, just a quick synopsis of how it goes if this is your first time. Just raise your hand if you'd like to speak, and then I'll call on you, and you have 3 minutes at your first word. So is there anyone from the public who would like to speak today? Alright, Rashika, go ahead and come up, and if there is a signing paper there? Okay, perfect. I will get you a pen, I'm so sorry. But you can go ahead.
Hi everyone, so I'm just going to talk about ASUCR week that's been happening today, tomorrow, and also yesterday. So I just want to give a shout out to everyone who showed up for tabling, for just helping me and Sophia operating the event. But I also want to give a special shout out to, even though she's not here, VP of Marketing and Promotions, Ashley Estrella, because behind the scenes, she has been working with me and Sophia a lot, especially in the past 2 weeks. And that's definitely a lot more initiative than we have seen from other members within ASUCR. And especially because during the last 2 weeks, Sophia and I basically had to revamp the entire thing to accommodate with hub and ground policies. And we also have, and for that, I'd also like to say my gratitude and appreciation towards Asha and Ames for also helping us figure that out and helping us create that quick turnaround. But the reason I wanted to highlight Ashley is because even though this week was supposed to be her week to recuperate, especially throughout she has done so much in terms of marketing for ASUCR, and I feel like a lot of us have seen that, and this was supposed to be her first week to have a break and just focus on herself as a student, and yet during the entire 2 days that have happened so far, she has been helping me and Sophia set up market outreach even during the event, as well as like cleaning up later, even though she wasn't supposed to. Yesterday, we started the event late because no one was there to set up on time. So today, Ashley and I went there early to go there 30 minutes earlier, and that's how we were able to start the event on time. And for that, I want to express my great gratitude and appreciation towards her. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Rashika. Is there anyone else in the public who would like to speak? Vivian?
Hello, everyone. I did want to kind of raise that point that Rashika mentioned. This is ASUCR week. ASUCR. That means the whole association should have been there in solidarity to help set up, to actually go through the sign-up sheet and make sure that you show up on time, to make sure that you're actually present and there to help your fellow peers. It shouldn't have been a two-person initiative, considering the fact that they have to do all of that programming basically all by themselves. Right. So, moving forward, I hope and plead that whenever initiatives such as ACCR Week occurs, that you make the initiative to show up in solidarity with your peers. We're an association. We're supposed to be there for each other. When I clicked on the spreadsheet, I didn't see a lot of officials there. I even, today technically, because it's not part of ECAP, I still showed up to volunteer. I still showed up to make the initiative to ensure that they are okay. So, Senator Jimenez, do you need anything? Do you need help? How can I support? I even put it in the external group chat as well, saying, hey, show up to this event. My communications director went out and even marked it as well to be there. You are elected officials. You are a paid official. You should make the initiative to go ahead and help others in the association, just like how you would want someone to help you when you have programming, when you have events. I mean, you guys held events. It's stressful. And it shouldn't have been reliant on my executive assistant, Rashika, to handle all of that. And I also want to give a shout out to Ashley as well, because she's done so much to market for ASUCR, and the fact that she had to go out of her way to help, come on guys, we need to do better. This is also applying to the conversation that we had earlier. As an association, we need to do better. Thank you. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to Senator Jimenez, and I want to also give a shout out to Rashika, and I really appreciate all the hard work and dedication that you put into this association. You shouldn't have done it alone, and I'm sorry for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. And yeah, their event is also going on tomorrow, and tomorrow's judicial branch, so be sure to be there. Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak? Okay, we'll go Senator Sharibar and then Senator Jimenez. And then was there anyone in the galley there? And then Ronnie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Anna, and today I also want to bring our attention to something that the Art Garden has been dealing with. And so I want everyone to please pay attention and see what we could also do as an association to better help our community garden, because we all directly benefit from the Art Garden as well. And so I'm going to read a post that was recently made by the Art Garden, and then I'm going to expand on it a little bit. So the post reads on the UCR Community Garden account on Instagram. Hello everyone. We regret to inform you that the Art Garden Walkout has been postponed, not by us, but by CNAS administration due to unspecified risk, despite our history of hosting successful events without issue. This event was designed to raise awareness for the upcoming Art Garden referendum, where we ask students to support the Art Garden by contributing a very small portion of student fees. These funds would directly benefit the garden, allowing us to expand crop production, acquire essential tools, and enhance our ability to give back to students. Unfortunately, we continue to face administrative barriers that hinder our efforts to advocate for this important cause. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience and appreciate your continued support for the Art Garden. Thank you. So the reason why I'm up here reading this post to you all is because as an associated student body, many of you here are also students, right? You wouldn't be here if you weren't. And especially everyone in the gallery as well. We are all students. We all deal with food insecurity, housing insecurity, and this is an issue that is plaguing our campus. 47% of our student association, our student body, is dealing with food insecurity. Our Garden is one of the resources that directly works to eliminate student hunger by providing produce and crop production for us. And so it should be one of our priorities to support them. I know I have been working with GCAP to support the Art Garden for the referendum that's coming up, so keep that in mind for elections. But I also want to ask the CNAS senators to maybe look into this. If you could talk to the administration, see why this issue even occurred, why their event was canceled, that would be much appreciated. Thank you. Yes.
Do you have the names of the specific administrators who canceled the event, or was it just signed CNAS administration?
They weren't able to name them, but I'm able to give you the names. Yes. I'll let you know.
Follow-up, I've been kind of delayed on this. I've had my own personal life situations, but we are currently in the process of setting up a meeting with a few of the associate deans within CNAS, largely because the CNAS dean himself is not the world's most cooperative individual on this campus. So we're working with some associate deans to work on various projects and initiatives, and we can definitely bring this up to them, but I will be following up on you on which specific individuals are responsible for canceling the Art Garden concert, because that is something that was on my radar. It was something I was excited to go to, so it's very disheartening to hear that it was canceled because of administration with no clear reason why. So yeah, I'll be following up.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing far. And also I believe you can find that post on their Instagram, because it's on the Art Garden Instagram. I'm not able to pull it up, but if you do want to see it, it is posted there. And then I believe Senator Jimenez, you have your hands?
We did talk about that, guys. Okay. I'm so tired. I'm going to give ACCR week updates. They're going to be talking about what happened yesterday, what happened today, the good and the bad, and then what we're planning for tomorrow, just to keep everyone informed about what's happening. Sorry. Okay. I've written it down. Sorry. This was a really big event. For some context, Rishika and I have been planning this since summer. We were supposed to have it in fall, but that didn't work out. So now it's in winter. And we started officially planning this ACCR week like a little more than a month ago. So first things first, I just want to echo what Rishika was saying and thank Ashley Estrella, because the VP of Marketing and Promotions, because of the amount of effort she has put into helping us with ACCR week is beyond what anybody else has done in this whole association. And she's a VP of Marketing. I would have been happy if she had simply just took video of us and took a picture once and like posted it, and I'd be like, oh my god, thank you. Because I don't understand marketing. I'm like so bad at the graphics. Rishka definitely had to help me with that, and so did Ashley. So I want to thank her first and foremost. And I also want to thank Vivian Herrera and her entire team, because they were here yesterday and they were here today, and they've really been the backbone of ACCR week as well. And they're not even in my branch. So I just want to thank those two first. And I also want to say that so far the event has been a huge success. I had some guy who I haven't talked to in like a year text me like, damn, your event was so cool. And I was like, thank you, guy who's low-key a stranger now. A lot of people went the first day. At least people who like actually like did the whole event through was 100 people. So there were probably more who like didn't sign in or like didn't even finish, which is lucky fun. The first day we had boba and we raffled off Legos. Which, low-key, funny story, I won one of the Legos. And it wasn't one I wanted really, really badly. And I gave it up for the greater good of society, which I low-key regret now. But I know the guy who won it, so deserve. Yesterday, in terms of actually doing the event, we had a pretty slow setup. But throughout the event, I would say we had like a decent flow of staff, and that was not really due to the people who signed up, but for the people who didn't sign up, who showed up last minute to help us. So we did have a decent flow of staff. Thanks to people who were outside of AS and staff from VP of Marketing and Promotions and Externals. So I had people who I just ran into on the way, and they're like, "God damn, you look terrible." And I was like, "I'm stressed, guys," and they helped me out. So I want to thank those people especially, because people outside of AS staffing ASUCR week is insane. But overall, people had a lot of fun. ASPB was super happy. I don't know if you guys know, but the first day was a collab with ASPB, and they did music, and they were really happy, and they sent me a nice email. And I was like, "Oh yeah, thank you." Today we have our frescas, and we had stuffed bears that we were giving out from the bookstore. Today, low-key, we didn't get as much traction because it was during class time, but that couldn't be helped because ASPB.
Is there a motion to send time?
Can I get like 10 minutes? I won't take up the whole 10 minutes probably, but like.
Do I like 7?
Sure.
Okay, Senator Lucker?
I move to extend time by 10 minutes.
Okay, is there a second? Senator Hayter?
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All abstaining, motion passes 13-0.
Thank you. Yeah, we didn't get as much traction because it was class time, but it was fine. I had volunteers who stayed the whole time, which was really helpful, even though they didn't volunteer for those times. So I thank those people for that as well. I also thank Ashley, because we were initially, this whole time we've been setting up an hour before, and they set up an hour and a half before just to make sure that we had it on time. So thank you for those people. We also had some struggles with KUCR because this was a collab with KUCR, but overall I heard from Asha that they actually really enjoyed working with us. And just a brief for tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to have sodas and pillow pets along with the final ACCR merch basket giveaway. And we're expected to do well because Judicial was the only branch with almost all their officials, except one I believe, signed up for tabling and volunteering. So that seems to go well, except actual volunteers. There was only, I think, 3 for tomorrow. So I'm a little worried, but I think it's fine. Now, to move on to how officials have responded to ACCR week, I have a couple of concerns. People who were late to their shifts, and I'm not talking 5 minutes late, I'm talking 20, 30 minutes late, 2 30-minute shifts, by the way. Late to their shifts, or they left early, or they did not check in or out with anybody. Today, I had people drinking our beverages without permission and allowing strangers to drink our beverages without permission. People who were not volunteering, who were in AS, thinking that being in AS gives them permission to steal the things that we pay for. I had people stealing our drinks and the water that I paid for out of my budget, because as you guys know, the contingency was $1,500 because I wanted to keep it as cheap as possible. A lot of the things came out of my budget at the end, which is $450 per year as the only senator in SPB. I had people not working and hanging out with their friends during volunteering when we were already short on staff. And I had all of ASUCR not signing up for shifts and leaving it to people outside of AS or unpaid office staff to run their own days, with people who weren't in their branch or are not even paid, which is insane. Yesterday was bad. Today was also pretty bad. Judicial, the smallest branch that we were most concerned about, has been more active than ECAB and Senate combined. And I feel like all of AS is expecting this event to come to them on a silver platter, but that's never the case. I'm grateful for the work that has been done, but this event has allowed me to lose my respect for a lot of AS officials. People who take advantage of work that me and Rishika do to make this a whole collaborative AS event. Especially since we talk so much about accountability, this was a very clear opportunity to prove the student's body wrong, and that was not taken advantage of. Things I had to do to make sure this week was done, I'll keep it short because I'm probably running out of time. I missed all my classes this week. I paid things out of my budget. I had to contact all the branches individually. I had to reach out to the executive fellowship director and internship director multiple times when they're your interns and your fellows. I missed a midterm when the midterm was the lowest grade got dropped. I didn't miss that. My period has been 2 weeks late because of the stress I have been under. Michigan? Michigan cut the papers that we use for ACCR. I am a food insecure student, and I've skipped meals and basic needs for this event. I'm starving, my period has not come, and I'm concerned, and I can't go to the hospital because they're on strike right now, and I don't think I will be seen. And I can't even eat during Senate because it's not allowed. And I'm very tired. I would like you guys please to volunteer tomorrow or I will quit AS. That's all.
Thank you, Sophia. Also, for the food that you can eat in here, that is kind of an old rule, so please make sure that you do eat. If you do have, we have snacks in the back, I believe. But yeah, please sign up if you haven't volunteered yet. But thank you so much again. Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak? Ronnie?
Very quickly, just to introduce myself, I'm Ronnie. I just want to bring it back to your radar. Today and tomorrow, AFSCME 3299 will be on strike to fight the UC's unfair labor practices, 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Please be out there. They'll kind of be on the intersection of University Campus Drive. So please be out to show your support. UPD was also on strike today. They'll be striking for the remainder of the week. But just to low flag, today was the only rally day for UPD. UPD representative members here at UCR are kind of inclined to go to the San Diego campus or the UCI campus. But AFSCME will be here again tomorrow on strike from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak? I see no one. Moving on to straight to Finance Committee. Is there a motion to open up tonight's finance hearing minutes? Senator Bunker?
I move to open the finance hearing minutes.
Is there a second? Senator Rogers?
Second motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Motion passes 14-0-0.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Senator Allison Pham, and I'll be presenting the finance hearing minutes on behalf of VP of Finance Kumar. For line item 3A, we passed org allocations of $8,417 for 6 orgs.
Are there any questions about line item 3A? I see none. Is there a motion for 3A? Senator Bunker?
I move to approve line item 3A.
Is there a second? Senator Tupel?
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Motion passes 14-0-0.
For line item 3B, we passed an allocation exemption request for the organization Highlander Statistics Society to raise the limit from $1,500 to $2,358 for their Data Fest event, which is a data analytics competition.
Are there any questions about line item 3B? This is the description. I see none. Is there a motion? Senator Barros?
I move to approve line item 3B.
Is there a second? Senator White?
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Motion passes 14-0-0.
For line item 3C, we passed a grant request of $1,500 for Philanthropic Association for their 5K running event.
Are there any questions for 3C? I see none. Is there a motion? Senator Bunker?
I move to approve line item 3C.
Is there a second? Senator Drinkwood?
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstaining? Motion passes 14-0-0.
And lastly, for line item 3D, we passed an allocation exemption request for Girl Gains to raise the limit from $300 to $1,000 for their buddy pairing program.
Are there any questions? I have a quick question. On the form that's attached, is that like a part of the 1,000 that was extended, or is it another form?
I believe it was another form. I can speak with, the finance Kumar about doing it properly, for that specific.
Oh, that's okay. Or wait, it's still under discussion. Did it pass finance?
Oh, yes. It
Oh,
was.
okay.
Oh, wait, no, actually, I'm so sorry, my bad. We did not pass it, that was on for discussion, I'm so sorry. about
Okay,
that.
no, it's okay.
Disregard what I just said.
Okay. And it was at the, is that the last one?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, thank you so much, Senator Pam. Moving on to LRC, can we get a motion to open that tonight's legislation? DPT Gator.
I move to open tonight's legislation.
Is there a second? Senator Cardenas?
Second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 14-0-0.
Alright, beautiful. Hello, everybody. So today we only have one legislation. It's SB W'25-017, or an amendment to, I can't remember the numerals. I think that's 6. The amendment to the Senators chapter. Basically to add an additional requirement, or rather adjust a requirement for the school public policy senator. So as you know, senators are required to sit on 2 committees, but due to the unique relationship between the School of Public Policy and the role of the public policy major and a lot of the advocacy work done within the External Affairs Office, it is put within the language of the bylaws that it is recommended, or it's posed as a requirement that can be waived, that the School of Public Policy senator sit on an External Affairs Committee as one of their 2 committees, just because of that unique intersection between the public policy major and a lot of the advocacy work done by the External Affairs Office. And I can pass it on to either Senator Jimenez or VP EA Herrera to expand on that.
I could do it. Can I go to the front? Yes. So I just want to say, I'm trying for crime, I'm just stressed. I'm not weak, I'm cool. I swear. But the reason I want to come up to the podium as opposed to just like presenting it at my table is because I do think this is like a more unique situation, and I do think that there might be a lot of questions as to why this is a unique situation. I also want to preface that this is not me reflecting on my own relationship with external affairs in terms of like personal or even work. I really do think that the School of Public Policy has a unique relationship with external affairs because the School of Public Policy only has students who are interested in public policy and politics, and the Office of External Affairs is exactly the same. They do not have a single committee other than their oversight committee that is not focused on policy. And even then, in their oversight committee, policy is intertwined with all of their work. They have lobbying efforts, they go off campuses, they go to DC, they go to Sacramento, all of it is policy based. So I wanted to add this clause for the future SPP senators that they should at least sit on the committee, and that's at least. After that, they can take as much agency as they want to be involved in external affairs. I know I'm very closely involved, but I really do think that it's there's too many resources and opportunities for the School of Public Policy students for their senator not to be involved. That's why I wanted to add this clause. And also, as someone who understands certain circumstances can make someone not want to work with somebody else, that's why I added the sub-clause that only the SPP senator can request to not work with the VPEA, because, well, I don't want to go into it, but yeah, I wanted that to be up to the senator and up to the EVP to decide to waive the requirement, because I don't want to force anyone to be part of an office or branch that they don't want to be part of. Any questions? It's cool to have questions. I'm not gonna cry, I swear. But also, I do think that there should be questions because this might have like weird precedents with other like senators. So feel free to ask questions.
Not a question, but a comment. I would dispute the idea that it would cause a precedent because I think it's made very clearly that this is a very unique situation with public policy and externals, and I think you articulated that pretty clearly. And yeah, I just wanted to comment and say I think it makes a lot of sense because, you know, I'm also someone who likes to look at bylaws and how they persist over the years and like make sure we're not implementing something that is like just for the group this year. And I think it's irrelevant what your relationship is with the External Affairs Office. I think this makes a lot of sense.
And then Senator Pam.
I asked this, I believe to you directly, but also just for transparency for the rest of Senate and also the galley, I'll ask this question again. Is it up to the discretion of the SPP senator in regards to their involvement for external affairs, like in the case of where they do decide to sit on the committee?
Yes. So, for example, I am sitting currently on the Highlander Action Committee. Shout out to Ronnie. However, I'm also very close with the LAC committee and also with the civic committee and also just external affairs in general. So that is up to my discretion. If for example, if I had to adhere to this bylaw, my only requirement would be to sit on HAC. But any other further involvements, that would be up to the senator, whether or not how close they want to be with external affairs. So that would be how it would reflect for future years and future senators. And of course, if the SPP senator did not want to work with external affairs at all for that year, like they had their own stuff that they wanted to do, that would be up to the senator to request to have that requirement waived. However, the reason I did put exceptional circumstances is because I didn't want the SPP senator to just be able to waive a requirement based on no grounds, just because they didn't want to do it. So, yeah. Any other questions?
I see no other questions. Thank you, Senator Jimenez. Is there a motion for, I forget what number it is, one moment. It doesn't have a number. Okay, what's the number? Okay, PPT Hayden.
Yeah, no, I get the numbers confused every week in LRC. The LRC standards know this. I move to approve SBW'25-017.
Is there a second? Senator Barker?
I second that motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 13-01. Thank you so much, guys. Moving on to GCAP. We have a motion to open up today's GCAP grants. Senator Bunker.
I move to open the GCAP grants.
Is there a second? Senator Anderson.
I second that.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes 14-00.
Okay, so hello everyone. This is to go over the GCAP grants. The first one is the TerraCycling grant. This is to a company. This one was actually passed through GCAP before the the resolution actually hit Senate. So this is just attentioning that. So it's the same things that you heard about when approving the resolution form of this. So basically, the waste reduction project is to implement TerraCycling bins in our ASUSR kitchen. With the help of OSHA and GCAP, we're going to make sure we have educational posters up that I'm currently working on. And so we will purchase these boxes and put them in the ASUSR kitchen to be implemented when sorting through trash, so people aren't putting the wrong waste into the wrong bin. For example, putting like their milkshake from coffee bean into the recycling bin when that's not recyclable. So that's the first one. And then should I go over the next one or?
Yeah, I could go over. Let's do it individually so I can open up the budget form. And then this is the budget for the first one. Are there any questions about the TerraCycling grant? Okay, I see none. We can go to the second one.
Perfect. And then the second one is from one of our organizations on campus, ALPE at UCR. It's the American Institution of Chemical Engineers under BCOE. They were able to get approval to submit this grant request. So what's cool about this project is that they're actually using wastewater to create microbial fuel cells that will basically generate energy literally from wastewater. So I'm not an engineer, but they explained it really well. And it seems like a feasible thing. So we agreed to actually fund it. And so mainly the labor is coming from the student members who are part of the team. There's no outside labor because GCAP grants do not fund labor. So if there's a GCAP grant in the future and it says for the labor section, oh, we have external labor, you should find that. But yeah, mainly labor from UCR students, and then other organizations they are partnering with include Hex Homes. Towards the end of the project, they're trying to implement the batteries that they make into the Hex Homes, which is a sustainable home project. Literally on our campus, right next to the SRC. You can see it, so those batteries will be used to create lighting for the house. So yeah, it's not really an event, it's just mainly funding for the project.
And this is the budget sheet for that. Are there any questions about either of the GCAP grants? Okay, I see no questions. Is there a motion to approve tonight's GCAP grants? Senator Bunker?
I move to approve tonight's GCAP grants.
Is there a second? Senator PBC Hayter?
I second the motion.
All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained, motion passes 13-0. Alright, moving on to public comment. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak on tonight's meeting? Okay, I see Rishika. Go ahead.
Okay, everyone, so I have two updates. So in terms of your tabling hours as senators, I'm pretty sure Ashley relayed to all of you that tabling for ASUCR week would count towards your tabling requirements. And I believe it was also sent in the group me of today's tabling. And I will also be sending over yesterday's tabling as well. Since no one has told me that there are any discrepancy in today's tabling till now, I have already sent it over to Ashley. So all I gave her were the numbers of like when's, I know. I noted it down, don't worry. I just gave her sign in and sign out. It's up to her discretion on like what counts as an hour. Like for example, Senator Rao came in at like 3, and because we ended up doing cleanup a bit early, he left at around 3:40. So it's up to Ashley's discretion on like what counts as an hour or not. So that's something you can talk to her about. I just gave the numbers. Another update is that Kara's having a chalk walk for April, which is Sexual Assault Awareness Prevention Month. And the purpose of this event is to organize an art display created by and for the UCR community that highlights and educates about phrases that support those who have been impacted by sexual violence or relationship violence. And basically this is where campus orgs, including ASUCR, if y'all are interested, please let me know, where we all come together to put positive messages on the sidewalk surrounding the bell tower. So if ASUCR is interested, let me know.
Alright, Senator Bunker, it's 90 minutes.
What day next week was that?
So for the chalk walk, that's gonna be in April, and tentatively, it's gonna be from April 28th to May 1st.
Yeah, I'm interested, but what is it exactly that they want AS to participate in?
So basically, Kara's gonna draw like a bunch of boxes on the sidewalk surrounding the bell tower, or like a specific area of the bell tower. Where that is, I don't know yet because it's still tentative right now. But basically, parts of the sidewalk will have sections, and each organization, such as ASUCR, for example, again, if y'all are interested, would just like decorate it and have positive images there, and that will be displayed throughout the whole week, just to spread positivity throughout the campus during sexual awareness. So basically, you're just decorating a piece of square.
I don't know whose hand was first, but let's go to Anna.
Also interested.
And then I just had one more question. If you wanted to do it as a part of a different organization on campus, should you just get in contact with them and figure it out that way?
Get in contact with me. And yes, we also highly encourage other organizations that you're a part of as well. So if your own personal org that may not be AS, which is also okay, is interested, then feel free to reach out to me.
I'm interested.
Thank you so much. So you minutes?
I have one final question. Can we not do it as a Senate? Not like everyone's gonna be involved, but like as a Senate, or does it have to be under ASUCR?
It has to be under an organization, so that would be ASUCR if it's Senate.
Okay, sorry, I thought that was a hand. Alright, thank you so much. Is there anyone else from the public who would like to speak on tonight's meeting? Okay, I see no one. Moving on to Senate reports. Wait. Has everyone gone? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Is there a volunteer then who went like at the beginning of the recording? Okay. Let's go with Senator Anderson.
I just went, so it's not gonna be too much from like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you just went? I'm so sorry. Wait, just kidding. Okay. Let's go with Senator Ball.
Yeah, right now, as I think it was either last week or like 2 weeks ago, we had Eunice come in and talk about like her issues regarding my professor. And I think I've already started the conversation. I think Anna, you had a meeting today as well.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Well, I just got more information on like what happened, and I'm trying to plan meetings with like other recipients of that thing, and then also regarding like social media, I wanted to talk about one-year grievance program that I want to implement sometime in the future, and then also I'm working on tabling legislation, updates to our bylaws. So if any of you guys are interested in that, let me know.
Alright, thank you so much. Is there one volunteer for the second Senator report? When did you go?
I think I went a while ago.
Okay, go ahead.
Alright, just quick senator report. Some of this you're gonna have heard in past weeks. Over the past couple weeks, the chat senators, we completed our LinkedIn with your career event as well as our town hall, which I think both of them went pretty good. We had pretty good attendance on them. Additionally, I originally was a more interactive role with both the Pell Grant initiative and also the Games Act. However, now due to some personal stuff, I'm still part of those projects, but more of a complementary role. Additionally, I'm part of the LRC bylaw rework, where we're kind of going through, making everything a lot clearer for anyone who's looking at the website, making sure everything makes a lot more sense without having to get into the nitty-gritty of each of the bills. And additionally, it's more so just in the beginning stages right now, but us chat senators have started talking about some additions and changes to our bylaws that we may want to see implemented, so watch out for that legislation.
Thank you so much. Was that a warning for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, moving on to the roundtable announcements. Are there any roundtable announcements? Senator Fan.
In regards to the events between Highlander Action Committee and Women's Resource Center, we had a really great turnout. It was for the Feminist Craft Corner. It was on Tuesday at 4 to 5 p.m. Thank you so much for Ronnie. Thank you so much to Rashika. Thank you so much to everyone in externals as well as those in WC who really showed up and also helped in terms of not only a little bit of the setup, but also for the event. Thank you.
Senator Jimenez.
ACCR week tomorrow, 12 to 2, we're going to be at the Bazaar. But more importantly, Ronnie kind of talked about it earlier, but the AFSHME rally is going to be from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. tomorrow. And I think it's really important for our student body to come support them and represent the students. Also, we did pass an AFSHME resolution like last quarter saying that's what we would do. So, you guys kind of but yeah, you guys should totally come. They're really nice, and they deserve our support because of all they do for us.
Thank you so much. Are there any other roundtable announcements? Okay, I see none. Moving on to adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting at 8:12 p.m.? Senator 24.
I move to adjourn tonight's meeting at 8:12.
Is there a second? Senator Rowan. All those in favor? All those opposed? All those stay motion. Meeting adjourned. Sorry.
ACCR people, please
Oh yeah, please say, I think like,